Hi, I'm Frank Pavich, tournament coordinator and founder of the Black Hills Nationals, along with my assistant tournament coordinator and head of officials, Paul Soriano. We're here to talk to you about Black Hills Nationals. This is the 18th annual Black Hills Nationals. If we wouldn't have had the COVID year in there, we'd be on our 19th. It's been a force to be reckoned with. Tournament has grown over the years, given kids an awful big opportunity, has reached both coasts. This year we have right at about 900 pre-entries right now. We still have 4 days to go for registration. We're anticipating well over 1,000 entries from all over the country. I think right now, I just checked it this morning, from Massachusetts to California and everywhere in between, both men and women. Old timers and young timers alike. So we're here to accommodate all the age groups, all the weight classes, and the Black Hills is a beautiful place to come for a destination spot to have this wrestling tournament. Paul and I have been doing this since 2003. We try to make it bigger and better every year. We've gotten it to be a very iconic tournament in the Midwest. People expect it to come on. They kind of know it's always going to be the third week of March. We really try to roll out all the stops and accommodate everybody that's coming in. Paul, why don't you say a few words about what you do and the nuts and bolts of the tournament?
Yeah. Well, first of all, a shout out to all the wrestlers coming. It's really about them, and they learn a lot of life lessons when they come to these tournaments, you know. Not only about how to get along with referees, table help, other coaches, moms and dads. So it's really about them. I work with the officials that come to the tournament to referee. We have 14 officials and 3 evaluators actually that are coming that cover 6 states, okay? And these are top-notch officials. These are just fantastic people. Frank knows some of them. They're on the collegiate tour or circuit as well. So shout out to the kids, the officials. Frank, I know you're going to talk about the merchants a little bit, but I'll tell you what, we couldn't do this tournament without our local sponsors that help us out and the donations they give. I mean, they give us everything from food to beverages to paper plates and paper towels, right, Frank?
Yeah, they do.
They help us so much. So shout out to those merchants that help us with our tournament.
Let me expand on that. Our sponsors have been very prevalent in the Northern Hills area, from Spearfish to Lead Deadwood, Belle Fourche, Spearfish, Rapid City. There's a lot of people that come together to make this a success. We have over 100 volunteers for this tournament, and we try to at least accommodate, feed, and give these volunteers something to walk away with, whether it's a T-shirt and a food certificate to one of our sponsors, restaurants or Walmart or Safeway, whatever. We try to say thank you. We appreciate your time. We appreciate you having belief in this tournament, and we couldn't do it without our sponsors, and we have so many great sponsors. We always put out a program with all our sponsors in there, and you know, like I said, they give us everything from soup to nuts, and a lot of them come to the tournament and watch it, you know, and we encourage that. So thank you guys and gals for everything you do. We really appreciate all you guys, and the economy that it steers for Spearfish in the northern Black Hills is huge. You know, we have people coming in for basically a 2 to 3 day stint in the third week of March after a slow winter usually, and they're here to spend money and stimulate the local economy. We like to see people get welcome wrestlers up on their marquee signs, you know, just welcoming the wrestlers. Literally, these guys are taking everything from vehicles, you know, maybe some horseback, and to airplanes to get here. And you know, with this economy, it's kind of a feat with the rising cost of gas prices and everything else. It's very much a passion for parents to give opportunities for their kids. So we're trying to fulfill that void, and we're trying to make a great place for them to come. I'm going to speak on officials just a little bit. Paul and I were longtime friends way back when Paul first moved. He and I became fast friends because he was a wrestling official and I was too. And both of our sons were the same age. And we put our heads together and said, you know, these guys are going to come up the ranks. They're probably going to play football. They're probably going to wrestle, probably run track. Let's do something for them, especially and particularly with wrestling. So we started taking them around the nation to different tournaments in Iowa, Ohio, Michigan, Oklahoma, Florida, Nevada, all over the place. I mean, sky was the limit. Paul and I would take not only our own boys, but any other people's boys that wanted to go with us, and we'd take a couple Suburbans, a couple vans of wrestlers, and we would give them the opportunity. This is all about opportunity, and I can't stress that enough. You know, people can want and have the desire to do something, but if they don't have the opportunity to do it, it's only going to go so far. We're trying to give people opportunities. So, you know, that young wrestler that's wrestling in the district tournament and then goes to the regional tournament and 2 weeks later is a state, they should be excited about wrestling in Black Hills Nationals because we've created an opportunity, and particularly for these local kids, in their own backyard. I'm a college wrestling referee. I've been with the NCAA for quite some time. I've been officiating college wrestling for 22 years. I'm part of the Big 12 officiating crew. I've refereed Division 1s, 2s, NAIAs, JUCOs. The only level of college wrestling I haven't reffed the finals was the Division 3s. I never see a Division 3 team, so I never really get the assignment. I see all of these guys in college wrestling, whatever division they're in, whether it's 1s, 2s, 3s, NAIAs, or JUCOs, that have the passion and had opportunities and understand how to get to that next level. That's what Paul and I and our organization are trying to do, is get wrestlers opportunities to get to that next level, whether that Pee-wee wrestler going to junior high, that junior high wrestler going to high school, or that high school wrestler transitioning into a college opportunity. We want to turn these guys into productive members of society and encourage them to give back to our sport. This is a sport that was good to Paul and I, and we're giving back to it because it gave to us. So a lot of these officials are my contemporaries. I see them around the nation. I go from everywhere from University of West Virginia to Las Vegas, Nevada, and everywhere in between. And it's really gratifying to see these guys come back and want to participate. These officials are going to be vying for a spot to go referee the Disney duels in the summertime, and Paul is very instrumental in Disney duels. He's one of the core people at Disney. So we're going to select 7 officials out of our tournament to go to Disney. So they're vying for a spot. They're performing. They're getting evaluated for a spot. You know, with that, I think that adds value to the tournament.
Yeah. So these 7 officials will be 7 of 60 or more officials across the nation that do the Disney duels. And one of the neat things, Frank, we have at the Disney duels, we have several ladies teams now that compete. So I'll tell you what, all the fans kind of flock to watch those girls wrestle because they are really, really good and a lot of fun, Frank. And one thing we noticed, they're cheerleaders for each other. I've never seen that before in sport of wrestling. You know, the guys support each other, but the girls, they really support each other. So really a lot of fun. Disney duels will be the middle of June in Orlando. So yeah, these guys compete for those 7 positions. So that'll be a lot of fun too.
You know, to expand on female wrestling, both Paul and I have been very big proponents of female wrestling. We got some really talented women in our area that are competing on not only state levels but national levels too. Female wrestling is an Olympic sport. We've had multiple medalists, you know, from the United States, and it's just going to keep on getting bigger and better. So we want to engage with that. We want to make this kind of an iconic female tournament as well. So we're getting more and more female wrestlers entering Black Hills Nationals. Paul and I had the benefit of going out to the state of Utah this last several weeks, and Paul evaluated, and so did I, the state wrestling officials for the state of Utah. And we did it with a system called MapBoss, which is a video-based system that can actually video the mat, and we can have dialogue on critiquing the official. We're going to bring that here as well. But my point here is, as far as the state of Utah, they have taken it full stock. I mean, they had 26 high school teams in their highest division for female wrestlers, and they had 21 in their next highest team, their 5A division, and it was good to see that. And like Paul said, I mean, it's they're encouraging everything and everything else.
Really
So,
growing.
bottom line here, our mission at Black Hills Nationals is to create opportunities for kids. We want to see them wrestle in a great event locally and wrestle competition that they've never seen before, and maybe won't see again.
Yeah.
But we always spin off to a summer camp. We're having summer camp at Spearfish High School with our camp clinician, Roger Kish, the head wrestling coach from North Dakota State University. We had him last year too. We try to keep a coach for 2 years and then purge out and do someone else. But Roger's going to be here one more year. And then Paul and I are working on getting another event going in Deadwood called the Deadwood Duels at Deadwood Mountain Grand on June 8th. So I'm sure we'll be chatting about that too. Other than that, you guys, thank you for coming. Thanks
you.
for everything you do, believing in this tournament, coming to wrestle. Our sponsors, our tournament volunteers. We couldn't do this without the volunteers.
Right.
Paul and I have a lot of moving parts that you don't see that are totally invisible. My phone goes off like a popcorn popper this week, and I appreciate you guys coming to Spearfish to get this done.
Thank you so much, and thank you to Spearfish
Yeah,
for hosting
thank
this
you for
event.
Spearfish, Black Hill State University for bringing this back
Hill
to
State.
Black Hill State.
Yes.
And everybody travel safe, and let's get ready to wrestle.
My name is Jim Phillips. I taught school here in Lee Deadwood School System for a whole bunch of years, coached 7 or 8 sports, and I was tasked to come in and talk about Frank Pavich and the Black Hills Nationals and my relationship with Frank Pavich over about the past 50 years. I was Frank's baseball coach when he was about 5 years old. I worked for Frank at the ice company for 13 years. And Frank was a member of my football officiating crew. Like I say, Frank is just an unbelievable guy. He's very, very dedicated. He's a Division I wrestling official. And one of his passions in his life has been the Black Hills National Wrestling Tournament. And Frank has taken that thing and his love for kids, his love for the Black Hills, his love for wrestling, and just turned it into an unbelievable situation. It's one of the foremost youth wrestling tournaments in the United States. I think it's one of 5 or 6 kind of division tournaments. And Frank has a lot of passion for a lot of things, but his passion for the Black Hills Nationals is just unbelievable. Works out year round. And the cool thing he's done with the Black Hills Nationals, he's taken a lot of the money that he makes and he puts it back into the communities of Spearfish, Lee, Deadwood, Sturgis. He's bought a lot of wrestling mats. He's got a foundation that he puts a lot of money back into that benefits kids, high school students, wrestlers, and stuff like that.
Frank, we were talking about youth opportunities here. We probably should mention the scholarships that Black Hills
That's
National.
a great point, Paul. If you go onto our website, bhnationals.com, there's a resource page with everything on resources, and one of those icons are youth opportunities. So if a kid needs a scholarship to get to a camp, get to a tournament, if they're going to school, if they're going to college, as long as it's for education, we earmark a certain amount of dollars aside for scholarshiping, and not necessarily just for wrestling kids. I mean, until the money's gone, we're open. I think we just scholarship the Deadwood Rec Center, some swimming scholarships. The criteria is stated on our website. I believe you need a 300-word essay that's grammatically correct, telling who, what, when, where, how, why, and how. And it'll come to the board of directors, and which Paul and I are part of. And you can see all our board of directors on our website as well. We pass it through the board of directors and approve it. So we want kids to have an opportunity. If they don't have an opportunity, if they need to go to Disney Duels, if they need to go to another camp, this summer or a tournament, we want to try to help fund that. But we want them to have some skin in the game by giving us some information instead of saying, here's a check, here you go. It's going to be a two-way street. So we want to make them responsible and understand that they have some skin in the game too. So what do you think?
Yeah,
Is that
very
any-
good. It's, the scholarship, great opportunities for the kids and other organizations, not just kids, like the Deadwood Rec, swimming. That's
Yeah,
just a great example.
Gymnastics have reached out to us,
Yeah.
mountain biking race. I mean, all kinds of things. If there's funds available, I encourage you, go on Black Hills Nationals. We give them in increments of $250, $100, and $50. We can get the information, we can justify it through our board, and then we can present a check to the recipient. So signups are still possible until the day of weigh-ins. I mean, online weigh-ins stop the 17th. At 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. You can't weigh in or you can't online register after that. However, you can walk in and register the day of weigh-ins at Black Hills State University, the Donald E. Young Center. Weigh-ins are from 9 to noon at the Hall of Fame room. Just go upstairs. You'll go by the admissions table. You'll go to the registration table, get registered, go weigh in. You're in the tournament. We structure all weigh-ins after everybody's weighed in. So if your wrestler misses weight, don't worry. We're going to push them up to the next highest weight class, and they're going to be just fine. A lot of tournaments charge a fee for that. With us, it's automatic. And the other thing is you wrestle the age you are the day of the tournament. That's one unique thing about this tournament, and we want to make sure we keep going with that. And that excites a lot of parents and wrestlers.
Want to do one shout out, Frank, for our national sponsor, AAU?
Yep,
Right.
AAU's been a longtime partner with us. The Amateur Athletic Union out of Lake Buena Vista, Florida. This is a national tournament, so we have AAU medals, we have All-American certificates. The first 4 wrestlers are considered AAU All-Americans. So they've been a great partner for the last 18 years. And we appreciate everything they do as well.
They also sponsor the Disney Duels, too.
Yep, they're the Disney sponsor.
Yep.
So, with
Thank
that,
you.
Paul, thank you for what you do. You do a lot, and I can't tell you, Paul, in particularly, Paul, Cody, Powers, Joel Martin, the Lathams, Kay and Darwin, and Josh Parrish. That's a kind of our core group. My wife, Kit, she deals with me during this time. Believe me, that's not an easy task. But shout out to all of them, and I appreciate each and every one of them, and they are so much a part of this.
Thank you.
Thank you.